What's in Miracles. And I want to welcome all of those online, all the crafts the well. I found out when I did that workbook a few weeks ago, which is great. And thank you for those of you who are showing up in the body right now. I appreciate that so much because I'm going to give you the way to deal with plans and planning according to the Course in Miracles. Plans and planning. Sometimes you get caught up in plans and planning and how you're supposed to look at plans and planning. Well, the Course in Miracles, as usual, is going to have its own approach to that. And the name of this class today is The Healed Mind Does Not Plan. The healed mind does not plan. It's going to be, as usual, I like to do book-intensive classes, and because I feel like there's nothing more important than motivating a person to study A Course in Miracles on their own. That's what a good teacher is doing. A good teacher is always trying to ultimately make themselves unnecessary. And the way that I see the changes in the attendance to what I do, I know I am a great teacher because people find me unnecessary really quick. So I'm just outstanding in what I do. I have no doubt about it. I have thousands of people who don't need me anymore. And so those who stick around, I consider them being a part of what I call the maintenance program. That's right. They just want to, the maintenance program. So, and we're talking about the healed mind doesn't plan. One thing I want you to think about is that the Course in Miracles said, the healed mind does not plan. See, don't miss that. Sometimes you'll be tempted to miss what the Course in Miracles is saying. And unless you are completely unconditionally loving, recognize your oneness with all things, know yourself as totally sinless and guiltless, have no grievances at all toward anyone, you don't have a healed mind. Okay, so just be clear that if you have a healed mind, you have no fear and no guilt and no perception of lack, no perception of sickness, no perception of attack. So if you have any of those things, you're still in process. So try not to let your own ego that says you feel great today, that you project that into you have a completely healed mind. Because you and I both know I can maybe see you this time tomorrow and I'm talking you off of a roof. So, because it's not about, like the Course says, it's not about being without limitations. It's about how you're going to be used and how you're going to let yourself be used. So I want you to go to paragraph 11. We're in the Course in Miracles workbook. We're in the blue book, and we are on page 253. 253. Now, remember, I do not analyze the Course in Miracles. That's not my thing. The Course itself says, don't analyze me. So I do not analyze the Course in Miracles. Today we're going to do something simple, we're going to do something powerful, and we're going to do something very Course in Miracles. We're going to read the Course together first. Okay, I like to do book-intensive classes. I know that the greatest miracles happen for people who actually read the Course, use the ideas, and remember what we're being told to do. So, no overthinking, no wrestling with the ideas, just receiving. So this is part of my new, even more book-intensive approach to my Course in Miracles teaching ministry. So we're going to start out with taking a breath so we can let the ideas kind of wash over us. And I'm going to say the guidelines to the Course. Take a couple of minutes. These are the attitudes that the Course in Miracles itself says you should have towards studying the Course in Miracles. Take a breath right now. Remember only this. Remember only this. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist, like the healed mind doesn't plan. Some of the ideas you may actively resist, like you are not a body, you are not your body, you are not your body, you are not a 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 body. So, some of the ideas you may also find very startling in A Course in Miracles. This is coming from the introduction to the workbook. Take another deep breath, please. Guess what? You are not asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. You are not being asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. You're being asked to use the ideas. The Course in Miracles says it's using the ideas that will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. It is using the ideas, not analyzing the ideas. Using the ideas will show you that the ideas are true. Using the ideas will give the ideas meaning to you and show you that the ideas are true. Using the ideas. Using the ideas. Using the ideas. Using the ideas. Here's the trick with the Course in Miracles. So if you're in the book and you're on page 253, so my focus right now is going to be on, we're not analyzing the Course, we are going to experience the Course. So we're going to let these ideas wash through us. That's our goal right now, to let these ideas wash through us. So our focus today is going to be on the line, a healed mind does not plan. So count again, take a breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let spirit take a wheel. And listen, and follow along with me. That's in paragraph 11. A healed mind does not plan. A healed mind carries out the plans that it has been given. It carries out the plans that it receives through listening to wisdom that is not its own. A healed mind doesn't plan. It carries out the plans that it receives through listening to the Holy Spirit, the higher power, listening to wisdom that is not its own. You hear these steps? I'll say it again. When your mind is healed, your mind doesn't plan. But what your mind does is you carry out plans that you received through wisdom that's greater than yours. I love this. This is one of my favorite sections. So what does a healed mind do? A healed mind waits until it has been taught what should be done, which is what we are learning in A Course in Miracles, by the way. We're being taught in the workbook what should be done. And the Course in Miracles is teaching us what should be done. And then when you have a healed mind, you then do the most incredible thing. What? You proceed to do it. So when your mind is healed, it carries out the plans that it receives through the Holy Spirit. And you wait until you have been taught what you should do, and then you do it. What you say, Earl? I'll say it again. When you finally have learned the truth and you have forgiven and you're seeing yourself correctly, you don't plan. What you do is you want to carry out the plan that the Holy Spirit, your higher power, gives you. So you do that by listening to wisdom that's greater than yours. You listen to hear what it is you're supposed to do, and then you do it. You see why we have to repeat it over and over again? Right? And then the next line says, the healed mind does not depend upon itself for anything. So does that mean when your mind is healed, you're not dependent on yourself for anything except one thing? So what is the one thing when your mind is healed that you're going to absolutely depend upon yourself for? You will believe that you are adequate to fulfill the plans assigned to you. So when you're really doing what your Creator wants you to do, you are not dependent on yourself for anything except you know whatever God tells you to do, you can do it. Whatever your higher power is telling you to do, you can do it. Whatever spirit and love is telling you to do, you can do it. So there's no such thing based on this as you not being able to do something that spirit is instructing you to do. And anything you can't do, that's not spirit directing you to do it. End of how can I tell if God's guiding me to do things? If God is guiding me to do things, which is a better way to put it with the course after 45 years of teaching it, it would be you get to the point you really want to say all the time, the right way for you to look at it, or you are adequate to see it the way you're going to be taught to see it, because you can see it the way that the Holy Spirit, your loving right mind, is telling you to see it. But what I want you to remember is this. I want this to be practical. So I want us to get one thing. If you're really beginning to get what the Course in Miracles is telling you, you realize that you have to carry out a plan that you're being given through a wisdom that's greater than your own, which is the course of the truth. And then the next thing you realize is that you're being taught what you should do, and then you do it. And then the next thing to realize is the one thing that you are adequate for is to do what you are being told by Spirit to do. And that's the only thing. That's what it says right here, which I love. It says, you don't depend upon yourself for anything. You don't depend upon yourself for anything except your adequacy to fulfill the plans assigned to you. So the Course in Miracles defines us as mind. There's a place in the Course in one of the workbook lessons that it says, you are mind, in mind, surrounded by mind, that you are mind. So the Course in Miracles sees us as mind, M-I-N-D. And then it says in the teacher's manual that it uses mind the same way it uses the word spirit. So from a Course perspective, you could say spirit and mind are the same thing. Again, this is in the book. You can read it. I don't come to the class and make up stuff, okay? That's why the whole focus that I do is out of the book, because I know that there's as many different ways of looking at things as there are people looking. So I don't look for everybody to agree with anything that comes out of my mouth. But what you're looking for is what comes out of my mouth that resonates with you, that you know you can apply to your experience. But a lot of times people make the Course in Miracles seem like it's more difficult than it is, but it's not. If God or love is directing you, you will be able to do what you are being told to do. which means if you think you're not adequate, you're not in touch with what Spirit is telling you to do. That's how you can tell from a spiritual level what it is you're being taught to do. It will be something, and I'm the repetition teacher, but say it again, if it's something that your ego, that you're making up for yourself that you're supposed to do, you will wonder if you're adequate to do it. You'll even tell yourself, I don't even know how it's going to be done. So things that are coming from the ego are things that you may not perceive yourself as adequate to do. So what you want to do is learn how to apply the Course in Miracles in a practical way. That's my whole goal. I can't tell you how many times it saved my butt over the years to be able to tell when my ego, my false voice is telling me to do something and when Spirit is telling me to do it. So it says in the book many times, read me slowly. Read me slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay. Then the next line says, a healed mind is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to accomplishment of any goal that serves the greater plan. Sometimes with the Course in Miracles, you need to stop right in the middle of a sentence. I'll say it again. If you have a healed mind, you are secure and certain that you're not going to have any obstacles that's going to impede you accomplishing anything that's part of the plan of God. There are no obstacles to impede the progress to anyone that's trying to follow the plan that the Creator in love is giving them. Did it say, you reading it with me, did it not say the healed mind is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to accomplishment of, did it say any goal? Any goal that, serves the greater plan. How many people do you think get up in the morning and say, what I want to do is to spend this day focusing my attention on serving the greater plan that's been established for everyone on earth? No. Yeah. The average person, I'm not saying there's not people that do that, I just don't know any. Consciously, okay. No, I hear people, including myself most of the time, tell you about my personal plans to fulfill my personal interests. That's what I hear most people talking about all the time, what they want personally. Now, notice what the Course says you would never have an obstacle when you're doing what? Trying to accomplish any goal that serves the greater plan. And what's the greater plan? It's a plan that's been established for everyone's good. The Course was one of the first books that said to me that my Creator was not at all concerned with personal interest. I went, okay, that's different. No. Something that loves you, something that's coming from love, I would never come from love and say, I'm only interested in your good. I'm not interested in your good, your good, your good, your good, your good, or your good, or the person coming down the steps good. I'm only interested in your good, or I'm only interested in my good. So love never would just single out helping one person. Everybody still with me? Okay? The Course in Miracles says many times, read me slowly. Don't you like it sometimes when people do it slowly? Because when you do the Course slowly, it becomes like, I love that. So, I'll say it again. Did I say a healed mind? That a healed mind doesn't plan because it's carrying out the plan that it's receiving through wisdom greater than its own. So when I get healed, I'm going, okay, I want to act out a plan that's greater than my plan. And I'm going to wait till I'm taught what I should do, and then I'm going to do it. So if the Course says, when I get upset, I should say, I'm never upset for the reason I think. That's lesson number 5. I'm never upset for what you could also say, I'm never angry for the reason I think. I'm never feeling jealous for the reason I think. I'm never sick for the reason I think. That's what it told me to do. So, did you notice? Did you notice I didn't have any obstacles to saying that? You notice that? It was no obstacles to me doing exactly what I was being told. At all. Nobody ran up to stop me. I didn't have to wait until I reached a certain level of consciousness. Didn't have anything to do whether I had a stomach ache or not. Could I still say, I'm never having a stomach ache for the reason I think. I'm not wondering how you're responding to what I'm saying for the reason I think. So I waited to be told what to do as part of God's plan. Then I just did it. And I did it, check this out. I did it in totally secure and certain that I'm not going to have any obstacles that's keeping me from doing that. And why? Because it's serving the greater plan to bring good to everyone. Why? Because if I start practicing the truth, that's at least one person that's serving the good of the greater plan. If I'm becoming saner and more peaceful and more loving and more conscious, by saying what I'm being told to say, to follow the truth that the Course is giving me, I am serving the greater plan that's been established for the good of everyone. Because it's to your benefit that I'm not so unconscious and fearful that I'm not going to mug you. I'm not going to rob you. Because I am serving the plan by doing what my Creator, which I say I want to listen to, is telling me to do. But you know what the challenge is? The challenge is many people, because of programming, look at God or the higher power like you would look at a genie, where they just want to rub its belly and then ask it to fulfill their wishes. So most people, not most people, but some people only think of the Creator in terms of manifesting the things that they would like to have for their pleasure in the world. Can we agree on that? That the average person, when they think of God, is just a manifester. I want a car, so I'm getting into the truth so God can get me that car. I want my soulmate, so I'm studying the truth so I can get my soulmate. The Course calls it using God as the means, but not making your relationship with your Creator your goal. God is just a means for me to lose 10 pounds. Because God's going to present me with the gym that I need to go to in order to do that. What's cool about God is this, according to the Course, our Creator doesn't judge and doesn't punish us and doesn't condemn us, and it will use whatever we do to wake us up. Then you can go to the gym, and Spirit would be there to teach you some love through that experience. Because we're never being condemned because we do something other than what we're being told. We're not being punished because we do something other than what we're being told. But what usually happens is you do encounter obstacles where it seemed like you were trying to lose the weight and you couldn't. And you were trying to go to school and you couldn't. See what I'm saying? So the Course is telling us exactly, and also I want you to also remember this. Serving your loving self's plan is how you actually end up happy. So it's not like following God's plan, you're going to have to sacrifice what you want, which is happiness and peace, some kind of way, which is what some people think because they had been taught a fearful perception of God as a punishing God that didn't want you to have most things that you wanted. So the truth is, people think God's will is boring and not going to be fulfilling, but my fantasies, they're what's going to make me happy. And the course is, if you're a course student, you've gone far enough in the workbook, you come across a lesson that says God's will for me is what? Perfect happiness. And the Course in Miracles defines perfect as complete. So a substitute word you can use for perfect is complete. God, who is love, who is my creator, is the same as saying my creator's will for me is complete happiness. So that should get rid of the idea that if you follow God's plan, somehow or another you're going to come up short and you're going to not have the joy and the happiness that you think you want. First, you have to get clear that the only thing your creator wants for you is happiness. That's got to be rule number one. So do you know you need to make the decision today about God? You need to make a decision. Is your creator something to fear that condemns and punishes and denies you joy and happiness? Or is your creator love that provides you in abundance with everything that you need and wants you to be happy? Because once you make that decision, it'll help you make decisions about what you're going to do in order to allow yourself to follow God's will. Because nobody's going to follow God's will if they think God's will is for them to never do anything that they enjoy. And I was taught, when I was a kid, I used to always say, damn, everything that's a sin is everything I like to do. I don't know about you, but I definitely had those thoughts when I was a kid. It's like, you can't dance and you can't do this and you can't do, well, heck, who wants to follow God? And then, not only that, they were talking about, you're playing harps with streets paved with gold. I'm a black dude. I want to hear Rick James. I want to hear some funk. Yeah, that sounds like hell to me, sitting around listening to harp music all day. So they were even trying to define what heaven should look like for me, what happiness should look like for me. So the Course is letting us know, no, it's about content, not form. God's will for me is for me to have total peace and joy and love. And that is something I could have today if I was willing to do what I was being told to do in the plan that helps everybody be happy, including me. So before I go to the next part of this, any questions or comments about what I just said? And you were following along with me in the book. Has that eased your concern about that statement, the healed mind doesn't plan? Right. It's a difference between you making a plan and carrying out a plan that'll work. Isn't that what an architect does? The builder carries out the plan. They don't show up on the construction site with no idea about what they're about to construct, right? They have the architect that's giving them the plan. They have to do what's their part. But if they're a good construction worker, they shouldn't be presented with something that's making them go, oh my God. If they're the bricklayer, then they go, let me go out to the truck and get the bricks and line them up so I can start doing it because I got to follow the plan. So the Course is telling us, don't fall for the Course is saying that it's not okay for you to plan. It did not say that. It said that you would be given a plan, and if it was your personal plan, then it would be something you can do. And you would have no obstacles to impede it, and it would bring joy to everyone. It would bring good to everyone.
So even if the goal of the plan is to have a deep relationship with Creator,
right?
But I'm still running into obstacles in the ways in which I'm doing it. Does that mean that that's not the plan?
If you're still running into obstacles, then it just means you haven't heard the plan clearly yet, because the plan does not present itself as something you can't do. Let me give you an example again, because when I use lesson 5, if you notice, there was nothing to stop me from saying that or thinking that. Even if I couldn't say, I'm never upset for the reason I think. Could I think, I'm never upset for the reason I think? And me saying that is helping to heal my mind, right? And then I know I don't have a healed mind yet, so I'm going to be gentle with myself in this process. But remember, what we're doing right now is we're hearing the course and we're hearing what it's telling us to do. And I want you to put somewhere in your book, if you got your book, readiness is not mastery. See, that's how we get caught up in the Course in Miracles. He says, readiness is not, just because I'm telling you what a healed mind will do, it doesn't mean just because I told you that, you're going to instantly walk out of here today and you're going to instantly stop trying to plan anything. You're learning how to follow guidance. You're learning how to follow guidance. That's what happened last night when I needed to find my way to a church that I was going to listen to a symphony. I had to follow my GPS, and I didn't argue with it. And when it told me to turn left, I'd go, why did it tell me to turn left? And what does it mean by left? And is it a good left or a bad left? Or should it say it left louder? Or should it say it left softer? And who knows? You see what I'm saying? No, I didn't know the way. I knew I didn't know the way, so I was willing to trust the guidance that it would give me to get there. So I got there, and without any obstacles. But since I didn't know the way, if I had not used the GPS, I probably never would have got there on time. That's us. We are not following guidance. And suppose I was like, I think I'll make up how I'm going to get there. I think I'm going to make up how I'm going to get to the symphony. I'm just going to make up the streets that I'm going to go, because I think I like this street better than this one. This one got more Christmas tree lights. I'm going this way. See, that's us. We come. He says we just how you put it. I love how he said we just follow our wishes. We don't really stop and try to get guidance from our higher self. We just wish for something, then we follow it. Then we wish for something else, then we follow it. Then we wish for something else, and then we follow it. So the Course is saying, you're right, you can be happy, but it's going to come from listening to wisdom that's greater than yours. And how do you know if you're listening to wisdom that's greater than yours? There won't be any obstacles to impede you achieving what needs to be done. And that's the only thing you need to focus on, is that you're adequate to do what needs to be done. Wow. Wow. See what I'm saying, Jamie? Yeah. But check this out. That's why I love questions too, because you said something very powerful. You were talking about having obstacles. Could that mean that you weren't on the path? Because it looks like that you would have obstacles. But just remember, you may have, but what was your obstacle? You really didn't have one. Think of it. In other words, I could say I'm never upset for the reason I think. So therefore, there were no obstacles to me doing what Spirit was telling me to do. It might have been obstacles if I was trying to do something that I was making up that I should do. But because that usually involves time. That usually involves something that you got to do out there, outside yourself, to give you a result sometime in the future. Agreed? When we come up with plans, they usually always have something to do with the past or the future. It's very rare that a human being comes up with anything they can do now. I'm planning to go, what I'm going to do after I leave here today. I'm planning to go to this place on Christmas. You see what I'm saying? The ego man is obsessed with the past or the future, because without the past or the future, your separate self couldn't exist. So we're always focused not on the blessings that's available to us right now or what we could do right now. Our temptation is to always focus on what's not here. Why do I want a car? I don't have one, or I'm not satisfied with the one I have. So my happiness will be when I get my new car. Can I get that new car today? Well, depending on your credit reference to how much money you got at your credit score. So you know that's your ego wanting a car. You know that your happiness has nothing to do with a new car. Why is it that you know that your happiness has nothing to do with a new car? Because you want a new car and you can't have it today in your perception. Follow me? My happiness is being dependent on something that's not now. But could I look at that and say, I'm not able to go down and purchase a car today, but the Course in Miracles says, I do not perceive my own best interest when it comes to buying a new car. So the truth is, if I can't buy today, it's for my own best interest that I can't buy today. So now I've used the truth. So now I'm following wisdom that's greater than mine, because normally I wouldn't say, oh, it's in my own best interest that I didn't get the car that I wanted to have. You know that's not what we say. So guess what? I followed a plan that I didn't make up, which was to say, I don't perceive my own best interest when it comes to whether I should have a car or not. And the Course also said, everything is for my own best interest. So I could also say, you know what, I might want that car, but for some reason, because I can't see the whole picture, I'm not in touch with my divine self to the point I see the ramifications of every decision that I make. So I'm going to say to myself, for some reason, it's for my own best interest not to get that car right now. The other day, I was on the way to visit a friend, and I was delayed a few minutes, and I was kind of in a rush, right? And 5 minutes from where I was going down 8th Avenue, it was one of the worst accidents, car accidents, that I've ever seen, that I could tell just happened. And if I could have been 3 minutes earlier, the time that I was insisting that I needed to be moving, then I could have been at that intersection at the exact same time that that car got hit. So was it for my own best interest to be late? Doggone right. It was for my own best interest. But was I making myself upset because I thought I wasn't being on time? Yeah. But the truth is, it was right on time. So that's what we have to realize. When you don't get the things that you think you want when you think you want them, don't automatically assume that that was not for your own best interest. And if I'm following the teachings of the Course in Miracles, it's telling me, Earl, even if you don't think it was for your own best interest not to get the car, I want you to say it anyway. You know why? Because that's the truth. And since it's the truth, whether you believe it or not, it's still the truth. So that's why the truth is easy, because it doesn't change depending on what you think or what you believe. It's there anyway. So the truth is, it was for my own best interest not to get the car. It was for my own best interest not to be at that intersection, even if I don't believe it. It still was for my own best interest. So if I say it's for my own best interest, I'm just telling the truth. I'm joining with the truth. The Course in Miracles asks less of us than almost any teaching you could ever study. And it rewards you way beyond what you would imagine. Because every time you do what you're told, that is surrendering to God. That is you saying, I want my higher power to guide me. I'm going to surrender to my higher power. How do I know that? I'm doing what it says. What did it tell me? Say this workbook lesson, whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you welcome it or not. So you only want to analyze it so that you can decide whether or not you're going to use it. Why don't you go ahead and use it whether you understand it or not? Because it's the truth. Everything that happens to us is for our own best interest. You mean if I was in a car wreck, that was for my own best interest? There are no exceptions. You may not think it's for your own best interest. Those people who were in the accident may not think it was for their own best interest, but it still doesn't stop that from being for their own best interest in terms of their soul development, their soul awakening. Something about that benefited them. Even something that seemed like that big of a calamity. My sister made her transition in a house fire 15 years ago. As her brother, seeing her in the body, yeah, I had those feelings of loss and grief that came up. What helped me go through it with any level of sanity was my sister is spirit and not a body. There is no death. We just lay the body down and we're liberated. Those thoughts are coming from the Course. So those thoughts comforted me in dealing with what was perceived as her absence. Because the truth always, looked at correctly, it always makes you feel better. It didn't erase my grief, but it was a hell of a better, a heaven of a better way that I felt about it, looking at it like she was no longer in existence at all, even in my grief. The Course in Miracles truth teachings always make you feel better if you perceive them correctly. Okay, before I go to the next pair, I know me, it'll be like time to go. Okay. Okay. Let me check in with you all. Are y'all with me? Are y'all hearing me? Is it making sense to you?
Yeah.
Take the Course in Miracles slow. Do it slow. Don't read it like it's a magazine.
The thing that's coming to me, Earl, is you say it's in your own best interest. Well, yeah, you sometimes get these downloads, hey, I should be doing this, or I should be doing this, but it just doesn't feel like exactly the right moment. But you kind of have a feeling you need to do something. But maybe you don't, because you don't feel it's a complete message, or you don't have the complete message yet. But that's just a learning experience, because you're not going to always act in your own best interest, even if it is in your own best interest.
Well, that's why the Course.
It's a strange kind of a.
Well, it's. I'm sorry, you're trapped in the truth. You cannot lose.
Yeah.
See, once you get trapped in the truth, no matter what decision you make, Spirit can use it for your awakening and your benefit. So even if I don't do nothing this book said today, Spirit's going to use whatever I do today to make me more aware of the truth that I'm loved and that I'm innocent. Y'all follow me on that one?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It takes a minute for us to get that there is no loss. That we're not studying something that if you don't do it right, either you get punished or you're denied or hurt in some way. See, we're used to being in the ego world where it looks like every time you make a mistake, some kind of way you could be hurt, or you could be denied what you want, or somebody judges you, or they condemn you, or you see what I mean? But see, we're not in that path anymore. We are on a path where we've agreed that our Creator is unconditional love. And if our Creator is unconditional love, I can't make a mistake that I would receive anything other than unconditional love and help. So even if I go out here today and do nothing this book says, I still have the protection of the Holy Spirit, and I have the love of the higher power. But if I really want to go through my life and easily experience the joy that is promising, then I need to be willing to follow the plan that Spirit is going to give me, and it's already told me. See, the advantage that you all have with me is I'm aware of the whole material. They're not just little sections and sentences, right? And so just keep in mind that we've already been told at the Course how it's going to turn out. We were already, the Course says, you know how everything's going to turn out? You're going to turn out in total and complete happiness. That's the end of the story. That line, and they lived happily ever after. That's how it ends for all of us. Just get clear about that. So that's why you don't have to beat yourself up when it looks like you're not doing as good as you think you ought to do, because you're still not going to lose, because we know how the movie turns out. What we're doing is seeing what we went through to get there. Have you ever gone to a movie, at the end of the movie, and you sat there to see it come around to the point that you walked in, but you already knew how it was going to end? But you didn't know how it ended up that way. I saw James Bond. I did that just the other day. I went to see a movie and I fell asleep. And then when I woke up, it was right at the end. And I was like, wow, okay, I saw that, but I don't know how they got there. So I stayed there again and watched the movie to see how it ended up in the climax that I had. My point is, anything that Spirit is telling you to do is always something you can do right now. And everything you're making up for you to do, you can't.
Yeah.
And if you do go ahead and do what you're making up to do, guess what? Spirit's going to take that and still use that to help you remember who you really are and to still love yourself. But you're probably going to go through a few more changes because you haven't realized yet that you're only being asked to say and to see. The Course is always saying, say this, see this, say this, see this, say this, see this, say, think this, say this, see this, think this, say that, see this. If a person is actually studying the Course in Miracles, realize that it's only talking about your perception, because it's only your perception that's upsetting you. guess what? Guess what? A healed man doesn't plan. A healed man doesn't plan. A healed man carries out plans that it receives through wisdom greater than its own. The healed man waits until it's been told what it should do, and then it proceeds to do it. And you won't have any obstacles that impede your way when you're trying to do what your higher power, God, is actually telling you to do. And it's going to bring not only happiness to you, it's going to bring not only healing to you, it's going to bring healing to everyone. And a conscious being wants everyone to be happy and to be safe. An unconscious person, it's all about me, baby. That's what everything is about. It's about me. But guess what? I'm a selfish, no good son of a gun, and God's not going to even punish me for that. But I am. I'm going to choose a relationship that sucks. I'm going to choose a job that sucks. I'm going to give myself some physical thing. I'll give myself some lack. I'll give myself loneliness. People who are going through that, they're the self-accused, and they're condemning themselves. And then they project it on the Creator and said life and God is giving me a hard time. No, you're not following any of the rules of truth, and you are therefore reaping the sadness that comes from that. But nothing's punishing you. That stove did not personally want to hurt you when you put your hand on it. It didn't say, oh, I'm not going to burn you, but Earl, I'm waiting for that joker. As soon as he comes, I'm going to burn the food out of his hand. Got it? So the pain that people go through, they're going through it because they're misapplying the laws of God. They're misapplying the laws. All right. If you want to move fast, join with people who get excited about the truth. Because nothing takes a person into unconsciousness faster than hearing a plan they didn't make up. I've come up with how Earl should be happy, and now I'm going to God to ask for God's advice after I've already decided what I want. And that's what the Course says we do. We make up our mind, and then we go to God. I decide you're going to be my girlfriend, and then I go to God to ask how I can get you as my girlfriend. I don't ask Spirit if I should be even trying to have you for a girlfriend. I would ask Spirit to give me insight into that. Takes a minute. So thank you for being those online, the feedback I've been getting, and also you all are here. I'm a book-intensive Course in Miracles teacher. I'm telling you right now, if you don't actually want to hear the Course and focus on the Course book, probably you're not going to enjoy me as your teacher very much. Because I'm out there fishing for the devoted Course students who want to get into this freaking book and really hear what it's saying, and not everybody sit around and give their opinion about what it's saying. But those classes are great too. They all have their place. It's just not the way I do it. Okay? I'm not going to say nothing more powerful than what's on this page. I'm not. All right. You want to go a little further?
Yeah.
A healed man, now notice I'm taking this slow. A healed man is relieved of what? The belief that it must plan. So the once you are learning how to follow guidance, then you're really glad that you don't have to plan. Even though you can't know, I'm going to say you can't know the outcome which is best, just like I said about the running into the accident. You cannot know the means by which the outcome is achieved, or how to recognize the problem that the plan is made to solve. Okay, so let me get this straight. Once your mind is healed, you will admit you don't really know your own best interest. you admit you don't really know how you are going to have unconditional love and unconditional happiness. I don't really know how this problem is going to be solved. And I don't really, to tell the truth, I don't even really recognize what the problem is. If I be honest, I'm unhappy, but I don't know why. I don't have relationships, and part of me wonders why. So if I be honest with myself, I don't even really know what the problem is. But guess what? If I am truly following having a healed mind, then I know that the only thing that I need to focus on is what I'm being told to do. So if you don't start living by guidance, what does it say in the next line? The mind must misuse the body. So if you are misusing your body, that's using your body for any other thing than love. If you use your body for anything other than peace, love, freedom, and forgiveness, and joining, you're misusing your body. So are you using your body for happiness, or are you using your body for sadness? Are you using your body for joining, or are you using your body for separation? Are you using your body in a way that makes you feel guilty? Are you using your body in a way that makes you feel frustrated? Are you looking at your body and attacking your body just by looking at your body? Then you're misusing your body. And when you misuse your body is when you start to have problems with your body. But your body is more than your physical body. Your body is your whole perception of everything. So you may call it my car trouble. You might call it the trouble I'm having on my... It's not just talking about physical body illness. Thank you so much. I needed to hear this today. So the healed man must misuse the body in its plans until it recognizes this. Recognizes what? See, this is where you do the course. Wait a minute. I'm going to misuse my body in my plans until I recognize what? I'm misusing my body until I recognize that I don't need to plan. I'm misusing my body until I recognize I don't really know what's for my own best interest. I don't really know the outcome that's best. And I also don't recognize the means by which I achieve that outcome. And I don't recognize the problem that the plan is made to solve. And until I get that I don't know everything, until I get that I don't always perceive my own best interest, then I'm misusing my body in my plans. But when you have accepted this as true, that there are going to be some parts of my happiness that I just don't understand, I just don't know, and I can't figure out. I'm going to have some great things happen to me that I don't even see how it even happened, or even why it even happened. I'm going to have things happen to me that I don't really understand my own best interest in that situation. I'm going to believe that the only thing I need to be focused in on is what the truth is telling me to say or think or do in this situation. That's me receiving the instructions about what I should do from a higher power. I call it, I'm studying my curriculum called the Course in Miracles. Somebody else may call it, I'm studying Eckhart Tolle. Somebody else may say, everybody's on their own individual path. But what the Course is doing is saying, you Course in Miracles students, people who radiate to the teachings of the Course in Miracles, this is the way right now you are allowing yourself to listen to a wisdom that's greater than your own. Until you can hear it from within your own mind. So don't say you don't know what to do in any situation that you're in right now. You do know what to do. Go to your truth. Go to your path. Say what your path is telling you to say, even if you don't believe it, because it's the truth. So you're still siding with God. You are still showing you have that little bit of willingness to receive God's blessing and healing. And don't be surprised that even though the Course is talking about fixing our perception, take it from me. I've seen so many miracles and so many healings in my outer world since practicing the Course, and seen it happen in other people, that even though it's just talking about perception, I've seen so many physical things happen that freaked me out, that was healing, that was beautiful. So don't think that I've had times when my back was against the wall and I needed some type of a miracle to come through out there. And I went to the park and I refused to leave the park until I had read A Course in Miracles. How long? Until I felt some relief. Sometimes that was 30 minutes. Sometimes that was all friggin' day. It would take 6 hours. I was in such a deep fear before I would go, okay, I'm beginning to feel better now. And I can't tell you how many times I would go home after doing that, and whatever the issue that was frightening me, it would have been cleared up. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that, and with people that I've taught and worked with. But what's the difference between the people that I see that miraculous healing happened with and others that didn't? Directly how much attention and study that person was giving to the course. I've never seen a person who focused in with real devotion and commitment not tell me one miracle story after another after a while. And I've never seen a person who never picks the book up seem to allow themselves to have the miracles come through on a regular basis. Because I know 90% of what you hear in a lecture, the average person does not remember one sentence that came out of my mouth 2 hours from now. That's why I don't use my classes as therapy sessions. I want to use them as an opportunity for us to hear and get this. See, when you walk out of here today, you're going to think about this. It's going to stick with you longer. I guarantee you. And every time you come up with a plan, you're going to think about it. As soon as you go, wait a minute, I'm coming up with another one of my plans. What he's already said, it's okay. In chapter 30, he says it's okay for you to come up with what you think you want. Because the course covers it all. He says, I got a way I'm going to tell you to do if you don't have a plan and you want a plan. But I'm also going to tell you what to do if you think you know what you want. And then there's a line that goes, tell yourself what you think you want, what you'd like to experience, the kind of day you want to have. It says it right there in the book. Think of it. But at the end, it says something very powerful. It says, then say after you say what you want, the car, whatever you think you want. It says after you say it, go, if I make no decisions by myself, right, then this is what's going to be given me. Now, you would normally think it was the car. But what the Course is saying is if you don't make any decisions, you're going to have the day you really want, which is peace. You'll have peace whether you have the car, and there's nothing wrong with me saying what I want at whatever level I think I want it on, but I need to remember I don't need to make any decisions about this without checking in with Spirit. So is that you being told what to do by a power that's more wise than you are? Yes. Is there anything to stop you from doing that? Is anybody in the car that appears in the back seat and grabs you by the neck and says, you better not say that, listen right now? No, there is no obstacle to saying the truth. It's always obstacles when you're focused on the illusion, what's not the truth. So, I'm going to stop here. Woo! I love teaching what I need to learn. That's one of my favorite things. Because I know who this is for the most. It's for me. That's who it's for. But you know what? I'm a much more obedient child than I used to be. It was okay. I'm a rebellious person. I always tend to do things and see things opposite to the way the world. See, thank God for my astrological chart. It was another way Spirit just absolutely gave me like specific instructions, which is really great. Because we are not, remember, Spirit will use everything, all of it. Remember that. So you don't have to beat yourself up about anything that you're going through right now. Whatever that is, it can be used. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to share if you like. Let me hand you that, baby. If you're online and you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation. As a full-time teacher, I really, really appreciate it. And you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y, or you can use Venmo, or the Cash App, or PayPal, or Zelle. All you need is my email address, which is Earl Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y, Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com. I'm available for astrological and numerological sessions and clarity sessions. If you want to get a peek into the way that you can look at the upcoming year, it's funny because you'll hear like, wait a minute, you just said don't focus on the future. Then I always go, well, actually, if you are aware of the workbook, there's a lesson that says, I place the future in the hands of God. So I feel okay. See, the truth has you covered. So if you are a person that's future oriented, then you just go, I place the future in the hands of God. So now you don't have to go, well, should I focus on the future or not focus on the future? Well, the Course says you're trapped in the truth now. I'm sorry, no matter what you do, you're going to be helped, supported, and loved. Sorry, you can't come up with a way that is not going to be used to your advantage because I love you. So no matter what you do, I'm going to guide you. I'm going to heal you. That's so beautiful. So I'm available. Go to my website and you can self-book a session with me, a clarity session or an astrological, numerological session. Right now, temporarily to the end of this month, which is, it's December, 7th of 2025. If you want to have a lifetime, one-time payment of a lifetime membership to my website, because I have a special members area with special things that are going to be done with people who are members. It's $97 as a financial investment. And you can go to my website or email. If you go to my website, you can purchase a membership. And then after that, it's going to be a monthly fee. So those of you who really want to go get deeper with me, I'm excited. I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on that's going to be Earl Purdy Unleashed.
All right.
So I'm going to have to get you to sign a disclaimer before you come to the... What's those agreements that you're going to talk about nothing? Call them N what? You know what I'm talking about, those things that make you sign that you won't say anything? A non-disclosure. Yeah, exactly. Because it's going to get pretty wild off in there. It's going to get pretty wild off in there. Because I'm going to just be myself at a level you've never seen before. No children allowed. No children, only grown folk. Only grown folk. Okay. Okay, that's the way I want it, because I want it to be fun and I want it to be helpful, but I also want to go really deep than we've ever done before.
All right.
And so those of you who are members, the link, you should have received the link to the workshop that I did a few weeks ago on abundance. And I got some more on that I want to do. Got a lot of good feedback about that. Okay, take a breath. Take a breath. Let's take 1 minute to land this plane. And I want you to tell yourself, I will receive the plan, not invent the plan. I will receive the plan. I will receive the plan and not invent the plan. I am safe in a plan that serves everyone's good. I am safe in a plan that serves everyone's good. I am safe in a plan that serves everyone's good. So what does a healed man do? A healed man waits until it's been told what to do, which is what A Course in Miracles is doing, telling you what to do. And then once you've been told what to do, what do? You proceed to do it. And remember that anything that your true self is telling you to do is something that you don't have to worry about anything except you know that the plan that you receive from God is a plan that you are adequate for. It will always be you being told to do something that you can do and that you love to do, and that you can do and that you love to do. God's plan is a plan that brings good and love to everyone. So it would be a plan that you don't have a bunch of obstacles to do, and it would be a plan that you will be totally adequate to do. Guess what? Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission not to know how it's going to happen. Give yourself permission not to know. Give yourself permission not to know. So say, I do not perceive my own best interest. Everything is for my own best interest. I do not perceive my own best interest. Everything is for my own best interest. I do not perceive my own best interest. Everything is for my own best interest. You do not perceive your own best interest. Everything is for your own best interest. Everything is for your own best interest. You don't have to believe that, accept that, welcome that. You may have some resistance to that. That might be startling, but it's the truth. It's the